Woo.
I ain't tryna bring you down, but for real, you might as well give up now. Think you got a chance, but I don't see how. Got a real tight grip when I hold that crown. My life been good and bad and all around. The more things I lost, the more I found. One thing I taught myself to do, no matter the problem, refuse to lose. So, how you want it, man? You can choose. If you can't take the heat, don't light the fuse. See, I walk in slow and ignite the room. Like fire, everything I touch, I consume. I'm getting up while y'all just snooze. While you make breakfast, man, I'm on the move. I'm the first one in and the last one out. Whoever owns the place gotta drag me out. In me I trust, yeah, I smell like success, this Elon Musk, huh? Everybody wanna be like us, we don't stop, cause the top just ain't enough, huh? I ain't never gay, no, I ain't scamming, you know black men don't blush, huh? Came here ready to fight on this night, you better just run for your life. Won't you come and see what it's like, living by the rules that you write. You ain't know those lavish delights, now you had no back in sight. All the little lies you recite, just makes all the savage unite. Usually I'm very polite, but I'ma get savage tonight. Even when the dog being nice, every single dog gonna bite. You might think I'm wrong, but I'm right. Just let it get a strong appetite. I'ma let it breathe just a little, give it to you strong, heavy metal. I don't make a sound when I strike. You better just run for your life. Run for your life.
All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the WardRadio live stream. I am your host, Cardinellis, and today I am joined in the studio by a killer cast of none other than Luke Hansen, the official editor-in-chief of WardRadio News, as well as by new welcome guest, Brooke here. What's going on, Brooke? We're going to have a little bit more on her later. And we also have via Zoom none other than Tikla Fife and Jonah Barnes here, joining us to talk about a controversial topic, shall we say. There was a recent video, that went out on the popular Mormon YouTube channel called Saints Unscripted that, I promised Luke here that I wouldn't say anything that would be misinterpreted as counter-punching attacks that have happened upon this channel before, or I'd be nice about this, okay?
Yes.
Well, I think we can debunk ideas without attacking people or the channel.
No, this is about the people.
No,
this
is about the ideas.
No, it is about the ideas. It is about the ideas.
License plate numbers.
Okay, yeah, yes.
We don't dox people on WardRadio.
No, we're not doing that. I'm just saying they said a couple things about us that need to be addressed.
So this is actually what I was saying was I don't think this is about us. I think it's more about the bad ideas.
They tried
Luke,
to say
everything's about us. Luke, everything's
no,
about us.
like when your average church member, well, not too many people watch this even before they took it down, but your average church member that's watching this isn't watching it and then going, "Oh, they offended WardRadio."
That one comment. There's, bro, we'll see if that's what you're saying. 30 minutes from now, all right?
There was more than just an apparent punchback against Word Radio that was wrong with this, and your average member is going to be more concerned about the doctrine part than if a particular YouTube channel was or was not.
Okay. So to the average members out there, we are going to debunk the woke nonsense that prevailed during this 90-minute offering, shall we say, or 30-minute offering on the internet. And for those in the know, we will defend ourselves from the vicious attacks upon the character of this fine program. All right.
We do actually have some new members. Even before we get started, we've already had new members joining the Ward Radio Wigwam. I am sorry, Jonah. I stole this job from you yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm going to steal it again real quick. But we would like to welcome, because we have received the records of Karen Colvin, and also, as I scroll down here a bit, Brad. So whoever would like to welcome Sister Colvin and Brother Brad to the Ward Radio Ward Wigwam, please do so by signifying with 2 W's in the chat.
All right. Welcome to the Ward Radio Warship. Speaking of warships, back to the original premise of this podcast here, or this live stream, I meant to say. Here's the original thumbnail from the video that will be put under scrutiny during this live stream. All right. And what's so interesting is when this video came up, I started looking at the comments. Remember, these are the people that, think we're the untouchables.
Well, Cardin,
All
can
right,
I tell you what I felt when I saw this for the first time?
Oh, yes. I'm just doing one thing. I'm introducing Brooke.
Yes, okay,
I'm introducing
go.
Brooke, and then we'll go to you, okay?
Yes, go.
And one of the funniest, coolest, most hilarious comments that I ended up seeing on underneath this video was by a YouTube channel called Book of Brooke. And this person says, I wonder, is there any room for the conversation surrounding women of color in the church? As a convert of a lot of years, I find this a topic not talked about. There are women of all walks of life all over the world that have more to discuss than what happens in Utah. Let's broaden our discussion to encompass all LDS women, all right? So what did we do? What did we do? We went out and we found her. Book of Brooke is right here.
Hey.
Okay?
Where were you hiding?
And-
I wasn't hiding.
She's like, I was hiding. Fortunately, she's also a California member. We do it better down here. All right. Who lived within an hour radius of the studio. So we decided, hey, Century City, it's only 30 minutes away. Let's just bring her in. All right. So anyway, Brooke is here and she is going to give us her opinion on what she saw wrong with this for so much time straight. But I have a feeling Tikla is bursting at the seams and she wants to start out. So Tikla, just start out and then we'll toss to Brooke and let her know what she wants. So hit us. Tikla, go.
Okay, fair enough. I love Saints Unscripted. I watch lots of their videos. I think they're very helpful. And so I was excited when this one popped up. I thought, oh, great, more women talking. This will be cool. And I didn't even get through the intro before I kind of panicked inside and started screaming inside a little bit. And I realized, no. This is not the message of women, of faithful women. These are some very naive opinions. And I don't think that they're malicious, but I think they're deeply naive. And I sent it to my husband with the subject line was,
Okay.
because
Screaming.
I had so much to say about this. I'm so excited we get to debunk it a little bit, but I'm also, I just want everyone to be aware. I'm not judging these girls for having this opinion. I probably shared some of them at certain points in my life before having certain experiences. And so, but I'm really excited to debunk the ideas.
Okay,
So, Brooke,
cool.
what was your
And you don't think
what
they
was your
copied
take?
us? A lot of people are saying they copied us. I mean, I don't know.
Well,
I mean, it's
imitation.
kind of odd that there
Here's
was no
more.
woman show on Saints Unscripted, even though they're the enlightened woke people. The
An
progmos.
honest female conversation.
Yeah,
oh,
honest-
come on, people.
You know.
Come on. They saw our women and they were like, oh, we got to do that too. Come on.
Okay. So anyway, we won't say they plagiarized, all right, because there is no copyright on a woman's show. But it does seem kind of like, ooh, me too. move, but whatever. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to go over some clips here because we always bring receipts.
And just so people
Wait,
know,
so
a couple of people seem confused. This video has been unlisted by the channel. So if you have the link, you can see it. But if you're going around looking for this, you're not going to find it. They took it down within like a day or so.
Oh yeah, but we downloaded it. We downloaded it. So anyway, Jonah, you made a bunch of clips. Tikla, you made a bunch of clips. Luke made a bunch of clips. There's so many clips in my Discord. I don't know where to start. So I'm just going to go through here. And
well, if you want to start with the big long video and just show their intro, and then like the first like few words that she says, I think will give a flavor for what we're up against here.
Okay, cool. So I'm just going to go.
Cringy,
so
though.
it's
Be
just
careful.
below Temple Rocks.
Slightly cringy.
Okay, so here we go. We're going to start out then. And I'm just gonna literally play the opening of the video. Say, is it LDS Women Discuss Women in the Church? Is it that one? Okay.
Yes,
here
that's the one.
It goes. Opening, go. Oh, wait a second. I had it muted.
Get your
Rookie
barf
error.
bags ready, people. Barf bags
Okay.
Get your breath mints ready, guys.
Okay, here we go.
I would love to see women sit up on the stand on Sundays, like the Relief Society president. I'd love for women to be given positions that aren't necessarily reserved for males.
Tell me when to stop.
Hey, guys.
Give a little bit of her. Well, okay, she's going to introduce everybody. Well, okay, I'll just say what she says here at the beginning. She talks about how it seems like we go through these waves in the church where we'll have this period where everybody's talking about women in the church, and then it'll kind of die down, and then it'll come up again, and it'll die down, and it'll come up again. And I think that's kind of a fun jumping off point for this. But before I go into it, Brooke, I want to hear you say it's cringy. What are you thinking?
Well, okay, so as a longtime member and female in the church, I was watching this video and felt like, okay, why don't you just load on the women more duties? Let's take care of the kids, let's birth the children, and let's sit on the stand. On next is going to be let's bless this and bless that. Let me birth my child and then go ahead and then bless it and bless myself all at the same time. What are we saying right now? I don't even. I mean, I understand women empowerment as a Black female. I get all of that, but I've never felt not empowered in the church. I've never felt like I couldn't do something. And I sat and listened to this entire video and was sort of shook. And I always say to myself, well, my friends, I should say, that if you have to complain about not sitting at the stand, then you don't really have any problems.
Oh, snap.
Snap. We're making up problems now. That's what we're doing.
That's,
That's true.
Them be fighting words. Them be fighting words.
Yeah.
So, okay, so I think this is such a fascinating case study and something that I see. And I think in order to dig into it, we have to do a little bit of explaining how to understand women. Are you ready? Get out your notepads.
Boy.
This
Okay.
is going to
Been
be great.
waiting for this for
Oh,
25 years.
we all want to know. And
Okay, and it'll actually help you understand feminists a little bit too. That sounds impossible. I'm going to do the impossible. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay. So I think that every woman goes through a cycle of feeling completely invincible at one point and then needing help desperately. We go through this cycle sometimes daily, sometimes weekly, often monthly. Sometimes in seasons of life, right? We have seasons of life where we're completely invincible, and other seasons of life where we just had a baby and we are completely helpless. And I think even as a society, we go through cycles as women of being completely invincible and feeling powerful to going, oh, wait a minute, we need help. We need a lot of help. We need a lot of help. And so when you, and the feminists will say, no, we never need help. We're just like men. We can do anything men can do, and we don't need any different treatment than men get.
Guys, welcome back.
Oops. Sorry. Keep going. That was my bad.
To which I would say, feminists give themselves away with the word empowered. Because have you ever heard a man say, I'm a strong, empowered man?
No.
That would be emasculating. Because what is that saying? He's saying someone else had to give me power for me to have power.
Ooh,
So
that's a
when
good
you
point.
when you hear feminists say, I need to be empowered, they're saying, I need a man to help me.
Ooh.
Oh.
And here's the thing, I agree with you. I agree. We do need men to help us. And so when you hear feminists talking, put it through that worldview and realize, okay, are they feeling invincible right now and they don't need any help? Or are they feeling like they need help and they're asking to be empowered? And so once you can see that playing in this story, it helps you make sense of the things that are so confusing. Like, what do you want? What do you want? Like a husband who comes out. Okay, Jonah, Carden, and Luke. Your wife's in a bad mood. She's had a really bad day.
Never happens. Mine is perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Never
All right,
happens.
well.
I don't know what you're talking about. Can't relate.
Okay, so imagine.
It happens to me. How about that?
Thanks for taking one for the team, Luke. Thanks for taking one for the team,
I'm
Luke.
being vulnerable, which is also a kind of female word too.
Okay, keep going, Tikla. Keep going, Tikla.
So if she's upset, there's probably one of two reasons. Either she needs help or you helped her the wrong way. Right? Does that resonate with anyone?
Oh, are you kidding me? Big time. I'm loving this.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
No, just
And
keep
so
going.
Feminists are the same way, right? We say we need help or you're not helping me the right way. And that's okay. So I'm talking so much. We should get to the clips here.
Okay, I was about to say.
I just wanted to put in that I personally, I know we've talked about, what does Brooke think? What does Tikla think? I have never in my life felt like an oppressed woman in the church. Never. I'm serious. Honest to goodness, never once have I felt like I am an oppressed woman in this church.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad to see that you were spared the patriarchy and horses, all right, of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. But yeah, we're going to dive right into this, and we're going to check out some of the clips from this production. Before we do,
go ahead.
No, Tikla, say what you got to say before I give my little publicity here. What's going on?
Oh, I was just going to say, if we wanted to, we could look at some of the comments that I think got this video taken down.
Oh, we're going to look at them all. I got them all queued up here. There was so much going on in our Discord that I couldn't even preview them all, so I'm just trusting you guys. Before we go any further, though, make sure you guys like the stream, all right? And also, we're going to address a couple of super chats here really fast. If you guys have any burning questions that you guys want addressed, make sure you give them to us in super chat form, and we'll answer them or address them. First off, Karen Colvin and Brad and Joshua Martin, welcome to the chat. Everybody wants to welcome them. Please put a W in the chat. Jason Gass says, the funniest Saints Unscripted comment I saw was about wanting the black guy, I assume they meant Quaku, back or asking where he went, something like that. Yeah, that's quite hilarious. I heard, is this an apocryphal story? Is this true? That Quaku made it back on the thumbnails?
Apparently
Luke?
so. Apparently so. Yes.
Oh.
At least for some.
At least
Or
on his
one.
own testimony, I heard that they put Quaku back on the thumbnails.
Wow.
So
on his own
bravo.
testimony. How gracious of them.
It was great. Hey, look, it's a step in the right direction. We don't want to be like the enemies of the church that are never satisfied. I think putting his face back on at least one of all the ones they took him off, that's a step in the right direction. So baby steps, we will applaud this. All right. And then Polly Nikes says, Tills, I think she meant Tikla. Can women's rights exist without...
It's a hard name.
Yeah. Can women's rights exist without men? If so, how and who enforces the infringement of rights? That's interesting. We can get to that one later. And Stephen Diamond says, temple rocks give power to men and women. Yes.
Oh, look at those
Temple rocks. Temple rocks. Yeah, edible temple rocks. You know. So thank you very much for the super chats, guys. If you have any burning questions, if you have any commentary, as long as it is germane and appropriate to the conversation, we'll do our best to read those. Make sure you share this live stream with your friends as everybody's getting into the live stream. And please make sure that you like this as well. Without any further ado, we are going to jump into these clips. I'm just going down the list. Here's the first one, 24-second. LDS women discuss women in the church is the name of the subclip that was given us. Here we go.
Yeah. I would really appreciate it if women were allowed to hold their baby while their baby was giving a blessing. Because
some people might not know that that's not allowed.
Yeah, that was the thing.
Yeah,
I brought it up to people and they said, well, I don't think it's a big idea that the dad holds him. And I'm like, it's not a big idea that the dad holds the baby.
Yeah.
But what is a big deal is that the mother's not allowed to.
She can't.
That's what makes
that's
it a
not
problem.
really an option.
Okay, so who wants that one? Who's going first?
So I just like to put in real quick. My wife heard that, and she was not. She just. I couldn't. She wouldn't let me go to sleep for an hour. She's just like, and then they said this. I can't believe they said this. She was not happy with that episode. But with this in particular, she said, "Are you kidding me? I gave birth to this baby. I have to nurse this baby. I have to hold this baby all day long. The one time when men take my baby from me and let me sit in peace in the pews, you want to take that away from me?"
That's
Oh my goodness. Well, yeah. Can you imagine a TikTok of a new baby surrounded by brothers, the father, the spiritual leader, all lifting this newborn baby and giving a prayer or a blessing for that baby? That'd go viral. That would be like, what? Where did you find all these father figures for your baby? This is incredible. This is so special.
All right, rock on. Do we want to go to the next one? You got something?
Wait,
to say?
no.
Well, I was just going to say, I held the baby for 9 months, and then I'm going to sit there and do that. I love that men do that. I love that it's a bonding experience for
it's
father.
an oppressive,
It's terrible.
ritualistic mystery cult practice that needs. We will undo 250 years of oppression if we let you hold the baby. And by let, I don't say let in a patriarchy way. I say let in a, I'm not doing this right, and I'm sorry. I'll shut up and go home like all the feminists want, okay?
No, it's okay. As the mom is so much more likely to stay with that child. She's so much more likely to know that that child is her own baby, right? And okay, my sister said this the other day and I thought it was hilarious. Men can have a secret family, right? They could have their family, travel a bunch, and have like this secret family on the side, right? Do you understand?
It's
Are we
tougher than
tracking?
people think.
Sure.
It's tougher than people think.
Well, it would be a very bad idea. I don't recommend it. But could a woman have a secret family?
No.
No.
Why? Why not?
Well,
Oh,
it's a little obvious.
because she's attached to that baby for 9 months. Like the baby's inside her for 9 months, and then it can't survive without her. And she, there's just, it's so silly to me to think that women wouldn't love and relish the opportunity for the men in her life to now take the child that she carried and say, you know what? We are committing to helping you.
Well,
The
also,
man-
here's my beef as a man. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Luke. I'll toss to you in a second. But I'm so sick and tired of these feminists that are never, ever satisfied. If you don't show up for the baby blessing, you're a deadbeat dad. If you do show up and bless the baby, you're a patriarchy and you're oppressive and you're toxic. These people never are satisfied. Whether you do or whether you don't, they're never satisfied and you are bad, which means that it's not feminism. It's not pro-woman. It's anti-man, and shame on any LDS woman that adopts this rhetoric for the ungodly anti-doctrinal farce of a religion that it really is. Does somebody? I was gonna say, does somebody else want to say that in a nicer way?
It's like Tikla said.
kind of
Tikla
could.
said you're either helping or you're helping in the wrong way. It's like, geez, you have all these men pledging to have a sacred duty to look after this baby. Like, how many women in this world would give anything to have a man, devote their priesthood power, their divine role to caring for their child? And here they're going, well, I just don't like that. That's like, I want to be able to hold that baby. It's like, geez, like, get some perspective.
And it's not like just a random person is holding it. There's singles moms, there's a couple of situations, but in general and preferably, it is the father of that child who is bound to the woman in an eternal union, partly for the purpose of creating and being sealed to those children. I want to point out something funny about this, though, is the girl who brought this up. Actually, Cardin can switch over the thing right now.
Yeah, I was going to bring up a good
You
point.
see how there's not a ring? She doesn't even have babies. She's just being offended on behalf of other people. And I want to be sensitive.
She's
I want to be
naive.
sensitive to stuff. And honestly, I would be fine if the church changed this. Like, I think it's good for men to have that responsibility. It's not like the church isn't true if they switch it over. It's not like a priesthood thing that person can't be holding a person that someone else is giving a blessing to.
But I hope they don't.
Yes,
No,
I'd
don't
prefer if
switch
they
it. I think
didn't.
It's a terrible idea. Taking more things away from men.
But it's just like
What
she seems
are we
to
doing?
be offended on behalf of other people. And it's like, there's enough things
Luke,
to worry about in the world that you don't need to get offended on behalf of other moms, of which you are not one currently.
Well, and Luke, you pointed out that if it's not the father, if the father is there and able, then it will be the father. And if not, who is it? A father figure. What does a single mom need more than anything else for that child, for that child to be successful? A father figure.
I was going to say, I'm the son of a single mother. And what more beautiful thing than like to be called into the circle that blesses a baby is basically saying it's similar to like being a godfather in the Catholic faith. It's like we are spiritually and ritualistically attaching you now forever, whether you like it or not, to the physical, spiritual, emotional, financial, and all of the above well-being of this child. You are part of this child's story, and you have a responsibility to her or him now, and that's a beautiful thing. And I just want to bring one thing up really fast before we go any further. We're going to be debunking a lot of these girls' ideas. But this girl, from what I understand, is a convert, and I view her as a victim of secular woke ideology. And when I say shame on feminism, I'm not saying shame on her. I'm saying shame on the dogma that has convinced this woman that these are the true steps forward towards true balance and yin and yang between man and woman. And this woman is deceived by the outside world around her. And shame on all of those progmos and anti-mos that are faking that they're still in the church, but they're really trying to secularize it. And shame on all those political progressives that are trying to hold her up and this whole conversation up as some kind of Ebenezer, some kind of standard of a battle cry of we're going to take out all of the evil patriarchy in the church, when in reality, all it is damaging and condemning more work to the already overworked single moms in the church, like my mom, the overworked and the desperate for father figures, part member family homes or broken homes or forgotten homes. Okay. This is a dogma that needs to be shirked and debunked, not a person, because this is a victim of a bad ideology. Tikla, it looks like you want to say something.
Oh, I was just going to say one more thing because I know, maybe the mom could hold that and still have the men circling around. No, it needs to be an all men space. And I'll tell you why. Because we need all men spaces. When men are in all men spaces, it's representative of a kind of bond of trust that cannot exist when women are present. When a woman is present, I remember my brother-in-law explained this to me, and I thought it was genius. He says, I don't know a man until I've seen him when there's no women around.
Facts.
All right, you've convinced me. I yield.
And so,
okay, I'm kicking Tikla out of here. So the Zoom chat is now.
And mic drop.
What are these women doing in here? Come on.
She just X'd herself out of this convo. No.
Hey.
Sorry. No, but because when there's no women and children around, then they show their true colors. When there's women and children around, you don't know if they're doing it for the woman and the children or if that's how they really are. And so the greatest protection a woman can have is to make sure that there are men-only spaces where men can be checked by other men in their character.
Wow, dude. Well, speaking of other men, this weirdo named Austin Fife just super chatted. Does he sound? Oh, Tikla Fife, Austin Fife. I see what's going on here. It must be a cousin. But boy, he's gonna get he's gonna get
a monster under perfect control.
Yeah, oh, that's savage. He's gonna get some flack for this one, but it is funny. So we'll read the super chat. He says, Tikla, when you are finished, will you bring a sparkling water upstairs for me? Thanks so much. At least he didn't say a sandwich. You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of disappointed single men viewers right now who just discovered that Tikla Fife is indeed sealed. She's indeed married.
Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna keep going here. Another clip. These poor
we do
girls.
have a couple more chats.
Oh, okay.
That we can do while you're pulling that up.
Okay.
So we have. Oh no. Okay, scroll up. So we have Chai, CHY Hodgson, And she said, I won't say I'm a feminist, but I do think it is important to fight against prejudice and misogyny. What is a good way to fight misogyny and honor? And then there's an emoji, which
Well,
I'm
first
assuming she means
define
woman.
misogyny. What
Yeah,
it
let's
really
do that.
is.
We're actually going to get to that later because that word is going to get brought up in the stream. So I think we'll put a pin in that and then come back to it when we encounter in the clips.
Okay,
How's
cool.
that?
All right, we'll
so
do
we got
that.
another chat coming up. This is from the Hilarious Gales, and they just gave us $5.
All
Thank
right.
you as their first super chat. So
Thank you
very much for
Hilarious
that.
Gales. That's awesome.
Oh, but then they did super chat again and said how I supposed to listen and really take in the baby blessing if I'm holding the baby.
Boom.
That's
point.
true.
Good
That's
point.
true. Very good point.
And now we have our own very own Discord moderator, Fidget the Crazy, saying, dude, manly men holding babies is so adorable. Cry face emoji. The heck they complaining about? Don't take the baby from the man.
All right, rock on. I dig it. Wow,
It is
all
pretty
of this,
adorable.
all of this just from a 24-second clip. Like this poor woman. She's a convert and she didn't join the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints just to get savaged in a live stream. All right, she's getting some of the woke out of her system. Just like these are ideas that need to be addressed. Okay, because our outside world is trying its best to Trojan horse under the guise of loving and respecting the daughters of God. They're trying to Trojan horse godlessness, depression, anxiety, big pharma, medical tyranny, all of the above. They're trying to Trojan horse through loving our blessed sisters, mothers, aunts, all of the above. Okay, so here's clip number 2. Oh, what a pretty smile. Oh, this is a good, see, that's a good frame to start the clip with. You know what I'm saying? And not one of the ones where they're like, bleh, they look all weird and gross, right? So anyway, here's clip number 2.
I think it's important first to look at how do you feel personally as a woman in the church? Does the church help you in any way or has helped you in any way to feel empowered, to feel more free, or has it done the opposite?
That's a really good question.
Yeah. From personal experience, I guess a mixture.
Okay.
I don't think it's the church's job to make me feel free. It's my job to be free, do what I want to do.
Get back to the empowered thing
Yeah,
that
I
Tikla was
don't-
talking about.
I don't know why so many people hang their hat on the church needs to do this for me and the church needs to do that for me and I need to do this and the church didn't make me feel. I think I probably can speak for most women that we have to stand up and sort of be in charge and not wait for somebody to tell us whether or not we can do this or don't do that. And I don't, if I waited for the church to tell me, I'm telling you, I don't know. I wouldn't even get out of bed. Like, I don't know how I could even exist and do all the things that I do, raise 4 children and coach and teach and learn this, take a test, add all these things to and graduate from college, all these things, you know, as a mom, I didn't wait for somebody to tell me that I needed permission.
Well, also maybe your personality is a little bit different. I do think leadership matters and culture matters, and we do have to cultivate a culture within the church that, you know, venerates things like motherhood and venerates like fatherhood and promotes a certain ethos like the proclamation of the family and general honesty and, you know, fiscal responsibility and all that other stuff. So I do think culture matters, and I'm not saying you said it didn't matter, but I think not everybody is blessed with as strong a personality as you obviously have that takes such personal internal locus of control, you know. So there is a culture to cultivate here, and we do have to strengthen the weak and mourn with those that mourn, and also, you know, comfort those that stand in need of comfort. And sometimes the weak do stand in need of some kind of comfort that might be empowerment, but we have to make sure that we define empowerment. Because the world and all of these woke scolds, they've Trojan horse masculinizing the feminine and feminizing the masculine as empowerment. And that's not empowerment. That's change, that's chaos, that's transition, that's everything else other than empowerment, because it makes you more dependent upon, be it substances, others, not dependent upon your Father in heaven and the strength that you have within as a divine child of God. So yes,
worldly power is power over other people. God, power in the church, as we define it, is the power of God against the adversary. So are women are powerful, given power by God against the adversary in the church, you better believe it.
Absolutely.
Dude, it's a death cult out there, and you birth the rebellion of the death cult. You are a portal to a sacred realm that men will never be able to achieve except for through maybe them having been birthed by a mother in the first place. You are goddesses, divine beings. I'm sorry if accounting is below you for a little while, okay? You are divine. Freaking the godless blood-sucking law firm can hire a different paralegal for a couple of years while you do what no blood-sucking law firm ever could, and it's birth and raise a child as a divine goddess on a fallen mortal realm. Like, seriously. What is so hard about this?
Mic drop.
If we haven't offended enough people yet, I'd like to go. I'd like to go a step farther here. My wife and I had the opportunity to live in a Muslim-majority country for a while after we were first married, and I love our Muslim brothers and sisters. I read a lot of Apocrypha and Arabic traditions and Islamic traditions and the Quran and all those things. I think there's a lot of beauty there. We can learn so much about their piety, and they're wonderful people. However, in some places, and in the place where we were in particular, women were second-class citizens. Not just like, hey, we would appreciate you in the home raising our families because you're better at it than we dumb men are. No, not like that. It was like, put on this tarp, cut a slit for the eyes, and stay out of sight. It was dreadful. And just to offend everybody here, I'd like to say the worst countries in the world all keep their women from being educated. Every time I would see the problems, the violence that would erupt in these places, I think, where are your women? These young men out throwing rocks at tanks and doing these dumb things. I think, where are your mothers? Women are the ones, the adversaries trying to stir people up into war, into hate, into violence and all these things. And it's women, and not just mothers, just women in general, who somehow see through what we don't see through as men. And they're like, what are you, stupid? You're going to go throw a rock at that tank? No, you're not. Come home. You're not doing that. And they grab them by the ear and they keep them out of trouble because women just seem to see through that crud better than men. Men are all, they get hepped up on their testosterone and they want to fight and they want to kill and they want to destroy things. We need women to pull us back from the brink of destroying ourselves and say, okay, life is worth it. Calm down, come home, and grab them by the ear. And you see that globally. The West educates our women and gives freedom to our women, and that's one of the big reasons why the West is way better than a lot of those places that put tarps over them, and they suffer the consequences for it. You treat your women like cattle, great. Then your society is hyper-masculine, and you got to all die fighting civil wars for thousands of years.
Well, I can't think of anything that treats them more like cattle than giving them the oldest organization in the United States of America, dedicated only to women, known as the Relief Society, and
That's
dedicating
true.
an entire largest, nicest room
Yes.
in every single one of your chapels to
Horrible.
it.
Horrible,
You notice
yes.
that there's no elders quorum plaque on any of the nice rooms out there, but there sure as heck is a Relief Society room plaque.
So, but here's the trouble with that argument, because that plays into the idea that the point of the story is to make us equal somehow, right? And so you're saying, I know men are up here, but look how much we've done for women. And that's the wrong story to tell, because that's not how this works. It's not a competition between men and women. I'm not a feminist.
A competition.
I'm not a
Everything's
misogynist.
competition.
I'm a familyist. I want what's best for the family. And we're a church of sacrifice. We're a church that sacrifices for each other. So women are going to sacrifice on behalf of their family, and men are going to sacrifice on behalf of their family. And if we hear something that benefits women but destroys families, we need to reject it, even if it's a victory for women.
Before we start listening to this ridiculous this crazy talk from Tikla here, the latest thing in the Discord card, and I want you to bring up the latest thing.
Okay.
This is the newest article coming out from Luke Hansen. He doesn't know about it, but he's going to be very excited about it, about a change that the church is making to some of the decor and
Jonah.
furniture in the buildings here. And Luke, trust me, you're going to love this.
Hey, Jonah.
It's the right scoop here.
Yeah, say what you want to say, Luke, before I pull this up.
Jonah,
Yes.
we talked about not telling them about the ghostwriters. I
The
don't
okay.
understand why you, in the middle of a
no.
live stream. Of
Oh.
all
Okay,
things.
so
blew
I
it.
see some meme here with chairs. Is this the right one?
Yes. Yeah. So this is me with chairs.
Okay,
so this
here it is.
interesting coming out right here that LDS leadership has announced new cup holders for all the Relief Society chairs and spikes for all the Elders Quorum chairs. It just because Saints Unscripted has had a lot of influence in the church office building, and this is in response to their wonderful episode. We decided to try to equalize things in the church by putting hot iron spikes on the bottom of the Elders
hot
Quorum
iron.
chairs and cup holders for So Delicious in the Relief Society chairs. For
We will undo hundreds of years of tyranny, the tyranny of baby blessing. So anyway,
baby blessing tyranny.
Yeah,
So we've got a number of people that have thoughts and feelings about this episode. And so speaking of that, some of the super chats.
Okay.
One comes from Zachary Thornton, and he says, feelings, feelings, feelings.
okay.
So thank you, Zach, for that observation. We have Polly Nike's 2000 question for Cardin. Why are the ladies of Saints Unscripted allergic to accountability for their words used and ideas conveyed? Let them eat bundt cake and be held to account. So it kind of sounds like he's saying, no, she's not a product of the culture. She is the problem. At least in part.
I'll tell you right now, there is an ethos in the establishment that worships niceness culture and neoliberalism as a false god, just like the ancient Jews constantly turned backwards to Baal. And as you read through the Old Testament, it seems like every generation they return to Baal. They return to Baal. You're like, guys, don't you see that like everything goes bad when you guys start worshiping Baal? Well, Baal was the popular god of the society around them. And as they were so desperate to fit in and be cool like the Phoenicians and be cool like the other Canaanites and be cool like the society around them, they did everything they could to Trojan horse excuses to worship the false god of the world around them instead of the true God of God in Solomon's temple. We're doing the same thing now with secularism. We're doing the same thing now with empowerment. We're doing the same thing now with seductive socialism. We're doing the same thing now with cultural Marxism. Every single one of these quotes that you see right here are a subconscious, desperate attempt to be like the cultural Marxists that surround us. The priests of Baal in the Old Testament can just be replaced with cultural Marxism. We keep returning to worship it. It can be replaced with suburbanism and neoliberalism. Okay? And we broke free of that when we moved west. And then we got prosperous. And in our prosperity, we didn't actually understand where we got it from or how it grew out of the hard work and toil of the generations before us. And then we wanted to be rich like all the other rich, spoiled babies around us. So what did we start doing? Doing rich, spoiled baby crap, like worshiping the false priests of Baal, which nowadays is just neoliberal, secular, proto-Marxism.
Yep.
Well, and it's interesting. Oh, sorry, Luke, go ahead.
Should we do the rest of the super chats? Or?
Men first.
I was just going to go to the next super chat because we have a couple to get through and more clips to get through.
Okay, read the men's super chats first.
Oh, yeah, it's Diamond Dave next.
Okay.
So we got Diamond Dave. Your shirt is on the way, Diamond Dave. Shirt is on the way to the right address, hopefully. Diamond Dave says, I came in late and don't fully know what's going on, but here's money. # excommunicate Saints Unscripted. So that's what he wrote from the super chat.
So casual hashtag at the end.
Excommunicate them from the neoliberal cultural that they're enveloped in.
There we go.
That?
There we go.
Danny Gray.
We want him to stay.
Danny Gray.
By the way, we're about to quote like Spencer W. Kimball or Thomas S. Monson or President Benson, and they will call us the unwashen and the unclean and the you know what I'm saying? Like just watch, dude. So
we have Danny Gray. So we could get back to these clips. I'll just go through these. We got Danny Gray super chatting, says they're going to bring up calling soon. Exec secretary, ward clerks, according to the handbook, are Melchizedek priesthood holders. Yo, they do actually do that in this clip. I don't know if we have clips of that, but yes, they do.
I'm just going down the list. Let's do the next one.
Callings do that. We have Silent also has a super chat. As a man in the church, I am okay with making the Relief Society in charge of helping people move. I'm tired of lifting couches and pianos. A palm leaf. A palm leaf. There we go. An olive branch of
You're tall, Brooke.
peace.
No,
Help me lift a fridge onto the U-Haul.
No, I'm good.
You know what I'm saying?
good.
Got like 2 more super chats. We got Kelsey Jones saying, yes, Tikla, family ists for the win. So we got some isms, some ists in the chat.
Okay.
Pumping up Tikla. We'd like to welcome Matt White. So everybody would like to signify their welcoming of Matt White into the Ward Radio Wigwam, signify with a W. The mistake that was the 19th, I think they mean to say the mistake that was the 19th century. It's not neoliberal, it's Marxist. There definitely are those tendencies there.
Well, I would say neoliberalism is just like there's the doctrine of men mingled with scripture. It's classic liberal words with definitions that have been changed to represent Marxist ideals. So that's why it's neoliberalism, because they take the wording of classical liberalism, which I am. I'm a very liberal person. Okay. And then they Trojan horse, okay, that through their wording, all of the proto-Marxist ideas. So, by the way, if you just put proto in front of something, it makes it a little bit softer. It really just should be Marxist ideas, but proto-Marxist, it kind of modernizes it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You're a proto-familyist. And now, doesn't it just sound even better, Tikla?
100%.
Oh, yes.
Ooh. Yeah, okay.
Well,
so,
and
go, Tikla.
I was just going to say, feminism, I think, is on the world stage is actually starting to fall out of favor, which is one of the reasons it's so frustrating to hear young members of the church say these things, because they're super outdated at this point. I think women who suffered through the failed experiment of feminism have woken up and realized this did not work. Families are in shambles. This isn't working. Let's try something new. Meanwhile, because of the privilege of the prosperity of the church, when you're stuck in it and you enjoy it for so long, they're completely losing sight of not only what they've been taught, but also...
No. Back when women could not be taxed and they weren't working 40 hours a week for a corporation, that wasn't better? No. Hold on a second. Okay. Back when we couldn't enforce millions of dollars of big pharma birth control on an entire generation in order to postpone the millions of births. Oh, wait, no, that wasn't great. Oh, no, but hold on a second. But no, mid-level management stressing yourself out until you're addicted to Xanax. That's not a massive improvement. Whoa!
I will say it definitely has come with some blessings. I would rather be a woman now than any other time ever.
Okay, well that's
so
true.
Actually, so this is interesting. This conversation. There's a clip. If you can find it in the Discord, it's one of the video clips. It starts with "Society's Love," and if you can go find that card, and it's very germane to what we're talking about right now. And it's very proto-germane.
I like
I
it.
sound so smart right? Was that I just right there? Just sound so smart.
And while
okay, so here's Society's Love. I got it right now. Can I pull it up?
Play this clip.
Okay, so here's the clip.
So nowadays, it is so much more common for both spouses to be working.
Yeah,
and
you're still asking
in their careers.
them, where is your kid, to the mom and not to the
Yes, yet societally, and that does bleed into the church as well, we still have those kind of internal misogynistic thoughts about...
Oh, there it is! There it is!
There
They couldn't... Okay, the clip's not done, but they couldn't help themselves. I want to go back and hear it again. She has passed the test. She's passed the test. In the temple of secular Marxism, she's recognized and awoken to the misogyny and the patriarchy, and she is decrying it. Never mind, she'll go home and live the exact opposite, okay? But she is speaking the sacred prayer at the altar of woke, and that is decrying the misogyny of the child blessing. Here we go.
Well, listen close.
Misogynist, kind of internal, internal misogynistic thoughts.
She's not even sold herself. Look at the face.
Internal misogynistic.
She's like, oh no, there's two feminists in front of me. I better say this or else they're going to get angry at me. And I won't be able to hang out at the Faith Matters conventions. And all of my progmo friends about to write books and be published in Deseret Book. They're not going to be, I won't be a polite society anymore. So here we go.
Societally, and that does bleed into the church as well, we still have those kind of internal I guess, internal misogynistic thoughts about what women should be doing. So nowadays,
Okay.
Wow.
bless-
So did everybody hear what she just said? Let's unpack that. She just said society, the misogyny of society, that women should have traditional roles, is leaking into the church. Even though the church is not about that. We have so many, double spouses out working. It's so great. It's society's love of traditional marriage. Society just loves traditional gender roles.
Also
The
known as
world,
survival.
Babylon.
We love
Babylon
survival.
Loves, Babylon loves, the divine role of women and men and the family as a central unit of society. I mean, Babylon is all about that. But it's starting to seep into the church. We have to stop it. I think, lady, do you know which way's up? What are you talking about? You think Babylon, you think society is all about these traditional gender roles and it's leaking into the church? What kind of a backwards, I don't know. That's what I got from that clip. Maybe I'm crazy, but I kind of think that the church is actually the one saying women are divine. They're the primary caretakers of children in the home. You can't change your gender when you wake up every morning. I think the church is trying to hold society back from coming in, but she sees it backwards. Maybe I'm wrong.
You got any thoughts, Brooke, before we move on to the next
I was
one?
just going to say they brought up the talk that President Spencer W. Kimball's wife gave for him that he wrote, and they brought this up about the role of a righteous woman, and nowhere in the talk does it say that women stand behind their men. Matter of fact, the talk says women stand next to their spouses and that we are equal. And I don't know, they brought it up. So they contradicted themselves all throughout their conversation. And then they didn't really even stick to what the church is saying about men and women. And so it was really frustrating for me to watch all of that, and then to have them reference this amazing talk where President Kimball was not able to give this address, and he asked his wife to do it. He could have asked anyone to do it, but he asked his wife to do it. Why? Because she is his equal, and if I can't be there, then why not have it be my spouse, who's amazing, who I revere as someone who can give this speech and do it as I would.
And in that speech, actually,
Wait,
Brooke-
hold on a second.
Brooke-
Before we go anywhere, I just have to do something. Here is a prescription for Zoloft. Okay, I think you'll feel a little bit better after that. No, hold on. And then you need to go get 2 cats, and then after your addiction to Zoloft and the 2 cats.
I know I'm not going to be
Now,
popular for saying this,
here's
but
a future prescription for 2 cats, and if 2 more cats, that's 4 total. And then if that doesn't work out, here's also 2 rom-coms, okay, and blue hair dye. You know what I'm saying? Here's some blue hair dye.
Oh boy.
And then you should feel better and be welcome in polite society.
Wowsy.
I'm a little
Doctor's orders.
sad.
Doctor's orders. I was going to say, but Brooke correctly pointed out that in that talk, he actually talks about women being behind men. She says women are not behind men. She says they're side by side.
They're side by side, and specifically talks about that we're equal, and he even says that. His wife says it for him in his speech that he wrote about women and how much he loves us. And so I'm trying to figure out where in that it says the church says that. I think my personal opinion is that she may have had some personal experiences, and I think she just needs a hug. And I think when she's a mom, she's not going to feel the same way. I don't want to
contradict you. However, if you listen to the video, actually, she says the complete opposite of what you just said, Brooke. She says, "I've never had a personal experience with misogyny." Like they all say this. They all go, "Yeah, you know what? All my leaders were awesome. All my bishops and priesthood leaders were great. My dad's wonderful. My brothers are great. I've never experienced anything like this." However, I know that it's out there, and you're kind of like, why are you talking about it then? I mean, if somebody really experienced
No,
misogyny,
it's
in
a
the church,
religion.
great, let's have them talk about it.
No,
But
it's a religion. I didn't see the first vision, but I know it happened because I've had this awesome epistemological experience where I know the truth, right? It's literally a religion,
That is
dog.
actually almost what one of them said. I don't know if this is in the clips, but the gal, the one that's in like the middle, who is the convert, she went through this list of things that was wrong, like women not sitting on the stand, women not holding the babies, and then at the end of that list, she said, and I wasn't aware of these things for the longest time, but then I became aware, or we might even say I woke up to these problems and these systemic issues that are happening, and now I'm working to fight against them.
She's been baptized.
Textbook.
And what did Uchtdorf say in conference? You will find what you're looking for. If you're looking to find the oppression, you will find it.
Well, we're putting a lot of words in these people's mouth. Let's finish burning through these clips.
And we
all
do have a
right?
quick super chat while we are
Tikla,
pulling that up.
Do the
words
super
Blah, blah,
chats.
blah.
Well, look, you were doing a lot of talking, and I needed Luke to step in and do his masculine duty, okay, and
Thank
just
you.
mansplain a super
me
chat,
one.
all right?
Mansplain.
So we have the Legend of Zelf. They said $5 because WardRadio is the GOAT. However, they did only donate $4.99, so we'll be looking for another cent from Legend of Zelf in the future in the chat. But thank you, Legend of Zelf.
Oh, is that it?
Yes,
That's the only
that's
super
the super
chat?
chat,
Okay.
yep.
Well, let's burn through a couple more of these clips, okay? And the only thing I would like to say is I'm very sensitive towards single mothers. Everybody always wants to say that, oh, what about the single moms? What about the single moms? Oh, the patriarchy doesn't, hate single mothers. Conservatives hate single mothers. Like, whatever. They're always trying to say that. And I always say, I was raised by a single mom. And tell me, Tikla, as a mother, if something, God forbid, were to happen to your husband, what's a better pitch? Hey, come join our community where there is a trove of active, worthy men who feel duty-driven to be morally and physically and spiritually responsible for your children. Come take a load off. We will mourn with you when you mourn. We'll comfort you when you stand in need of comfort. And we can't guarantee help all the time, but at least on Sundays, there will be all hands on deck when you come in this church building, and a place for your kids, and you can take a load off and talk about God with your sister friends. All right. Does that sound like a better pitch than, oh, you showed up? Good. We needed somebody to go into accounting and kick the guy out and to go count the receipts from tithing. And then after that, can you go drop them off? And before you leave, before you head out the door, make sure you pick up all of the chairs. And we're trying to save money on church cleaning, so make sure you show up early on Saturday and also do more cleaning after that. And by the way, we don't want to be misogynist here, okay? So after you come in and you do all of that, can you go bless the sacrament?
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Because we need more representation. And by the way, when you bless the sacrament, can you wear an oddly fit pants that are too high for you and a poorly tied tie and mess up your hair a little bit, or else we may not recognize who's doing it,
No organization in the world takes care of single mothers better than the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
I can attest to that. I am a single mother.
Really? What helped? Well, before we go to these clips, what helped? What makes you say that?
Well, listen.
That's what I'm doing.
For the last several years, I've been a single mom, and I have no idea where I would be without the support of the men and women of the church. I don't know where I would be when I got COVID, and I didn't know if I was going to make it through without the kindness of the men and women of the church. I don't know where I would be. So it's a bigger family than I think that anyone could really ever know until you actually need to lean on your family. And the church has been that. So, yeah.
Okay, you know what? You need the full DVD set of Sex in the City. Full DVD set of Sex in the City.
Beautiful.
No. She needs to be. No, we need her back. So, full DVD set of Sex in the City.
Brooke, are you okay?
And
Just
two
read
more
the
cats.
Book of Brooke. You'll hear all on that. And
Two
I don't
more
need
cats. You need 6 cats. You know what I'm saying? 6 cats. And
I'm allergic. I'm good. I need a husband. I'll take that.
All right, so here we go. Back to the clips. I'm just going to choose one randomly, and we'll just burn through a bunch of these randomly. Go.
Now, something else I think of is every 6 months, I hope that there are more women speaking in General Conference, and there just never are.
No.
Yeah.
It is always like the same little handful. Now, something else.
Okay.
The same little handful. Jehovah's chosen apostles. Oh, those boring, the same old apostles chosen by the Lord Jesus Christ. Blah, blah, blah. Repent. Blah, blah, blah. Jesus is our Savior. Oh, I'm just so tired of the same old thing.
By the way, there was 0 speakers at the first conference that Jesus called. There was 0 female speakers. I'm sorry. It's not.
Did you know that women on average speak 13,000 more words per day than men? So do they also want to equalize the words spoken every day? Should we maybe stop talking a little bit at home? Because I can hear women talk all day and they're not hard to find. I can also hear a lot of men talking who want to be talking. But what's hard to find is wise men who didn't put themselves on a pedestal, who have something godly to say. That's hard to find. That's rare. And
no, but
I
heaven
treasure the opportunity.
No. If we have a system where men are called to positions of leadership, instead of gaining them through stratagem, power, and or influence garnered by good looks, women should compete with men, and we should masculinize the feminine and effeminize the masculine. Then we will have true power, where women who are already stressed out from Monday through Saturday can come and compete more with now not just other women, but the men too. This is the way. You need to be awakened.
It is good that WardRadio is out here breaking stereotypes, and Cardin is just bumping up that word count for us. And really helping, 60% of all the
I think it's imperative to state.
You need a prescription for 1 dose of male feminism.
Dr. Ellis.
1 dose of male feminism. Okay, 1 really tight pair of pants. Okay, 1 really tight pair of pants. Okay, and then, actually, no, that's a good starting point. Oh no, a useless degree. A useless degree. You know what I'm saying? And then you will be 1 step closer towards sharing cats. I'm just kidding. He's like, that's funny, man. So, keep going. Oh wait, no, I'm keeping going.
Brooke, what do you think? Brooke, you think we need more men? You think
Cardin needs to talk more?
No comment. No, just kidding. So I was gonna say, I don't know. I know we know as members, but I don't know who's gonna watch this. I love that the men in our church are doing all that they're doing, and same with the women. But we're doing it for free. We're volunteering our time, and I love that we have so many righteous, willing, able men who stand up. They move people. They bless. They show up. They take care of their families, and we have a church filled with men that are showing up for their families and doing it without pay and without a paycheck or it. There's not any sort of reward other than the reward of service and being the hand of the Lord. So I think, why would we want to take that away from the men? Why would we want to do that? And going back to the talk that was given by President Kimball's wife, we have duties, and those duties are uber important to, let me back up a little bit. If we were running a business, would we have 25,000 presidents to run the business? No, we wouldn't. We wouldn't need to. We have to have somebody who directs what happens next, and then from there, we're making sure that everybody manages their job. And I love that we're doing all of this as a volunteer basis. These men are standing up, being men in a world full of craziness, and for free. So why?
I don't get it. I've been writing prescriptions for everybody here, trying to turn you into good neoliberals.
Not helping.
And you're just not taking it.
Not enough.
Put some more
Trust
commas
the
and
science.
zeros.
Trust the doctor. Trust the science, people. Take a prescription.
I know, seriously. It's just we're just
If
following.
this is
working.
a sickness, may God smite me with it, and may I never
Jeez.
recover.
Yeah. Okay. You know, so here we go. Next clip. Who made this clip? I don't know. It's titled. Actually, all these titles are the same, so I guess I can't see which one it is. But here, we'll just do this one. 26 seconds long.
They're all gold.
They're all gold. Okay, so here we go.
So nowadays, it is so much more common for both spouses to be working.
Yeah,
and
you're still
We
asking
already listened to this
them.
one.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
yep.
doing that one.
We already listened to that one.
That
Sorry.
was
The
the
titles
are like
horrible
above the
Babylon is
videos.
trying to teach people traditional families. Oh,
And to
horrible
be
Babylon.
fair, there's great women in the workforce. I'm not saying women shouldn't be in the workforce. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I will say, okay, I put a comic in the Discord, and it's kind of corny, but I think it illustrates this point kind of in an interesting way. It's meant to be a feminist comic, but I think they say the quiet part out loud a little bit.
Okay.
It's down
here
at the
it is.
bottom.
No, I see it where it says this is unfair.
Yeah, okay, I can't see it actually on my screen, so I'll have to pull it up.
I can read it for you. So it
read
says,
it.
this is it's a woman carrying a sack. It says homework. She's carrying the sack. She says, this is unfair. We're both working, but your work gets high pay and status. And a man carrying a wage bag, he says, gee, that is unfair. And she says, let's fix it. I'll take your half load and you take half mine. He says, good idea. Okay, I got it. Now you take half my load right away. And they switch. It says, oh, okay, you can go ahead anytime and take my half. I said, yeah, And she's crumbling under the weight of doing wages and homework. But what exactly is the problem? And he says, why do you say there's a problem?
Yeah.
And okay, so this is supposed to be illustrating the failed experiment, that the problem, the reason feminism failed is because the patriarchy failed to take their half of the homework. But here's the problem. The homework that they're referencing, when you look in the social sciences, I have a little bit of a background in my undergrad's in family science. And when you look at the studies when the women are trying to figure out what's going wrong, how come we can't get rid of this burden and give it off on men? And it's because they call it an invisible burden or a mental load that is associated with motherhood. And I would say it's a divine involuntary sacrifice that women make when they start a family that cannot be given away. So the only option for women is to have the whole of the mother load, pardon the expression, and be added more load to them. You cannot give away the load of a mother. You can only add more to it. And so the church has been trying to, instead of adding the load of the world to women, they've given the status and recognition that a woman's role deserves to them. So here's your work, and also all of the glory that it deserves.
I've never seen Luke bob his head more than when you said that. You know what I'm saying? That was like some serious. I could see it on the small screens on my switcher. I was like, dude, he's bobbing
I
his
was
head.
rocking to the
Why
whole
you bobbing
thing.
your head, bro? Was this like
everything was right? Everything was right. And I will add, the comic doesn't quite make sense because I don't have these stats right on hand, but men have increased a lot of the share of the housework that has been
A
done.
lot.
So I don't even know
A lot.
what it's trying to get at. Before we move to the next clip,
That's my point.
we do have super chats.
But Luke, wait, but you're correct. So just in the past 10 years, dads are working now 14% more in the home. 10 years before that, it went up another 12%. So every decade, so right now, men in the home are doing 3 to 5 more homework, more dad work than their grandfathers did. Men
But
are doing
also,
more
is
domestic
that
work than
even-
ever before.
But is that just garbage stats where people try and rewrite history by just changing the definitions of things? Like back when the Obama administration tried to say, oh, if I don't get unemployment below 8%, then I won't run for a second office. And he never got unemployment
If
under 8%.
anything has
so
changed, if anything's off about the numbers, it's that everybody's doing less work because dishwashers and just automated systems for doing a lot of housework has made things so people have a lot less housework time and a lot more leisure time.
this is why I like Luke. He knows all these things. And he says it in a
That's actually not
concise
true. The housework load has not gone down because the standard of cleanliness increases as the load comes down.
Yes.
So the only thing that has
relatively-
actually lowered the rate of, or lowered the amount of home work is modern medicine. because women used to spend an inordinate amount of time nursing sick children or back to health. And so, but I also think it's fascinating that when you ask men to help with housework, they invent dishwashers and washing machines.
Good point.
And
Okay, this I will say. So first off, I side with Luke because he's a man. Okay,
fair.
so
I
I'm just,
will say
I just
it
side
just-
with him.
It just depends on how you normalize it when you're saying about if people do less housework or not.
Well, I will give. This is where I will throw my gender under the bus as well. Okay, So I worked in pest control for a long time, and when COVID started, it was very interesting to see how many dudes, when all of a sudden they had to work from home, signed up for pest control. Their wives had been complaining for eons about the ants or the spiders, and I'll take care of it. Oh, you don't have to hire somebody. Oh, you don't have to whatever. But all of a sudden, when they were the ones at home having to zoom into work, and all of a sudden the ants are getting in the soda pop bottle, and they were the ones that had to go and get that lunch cereal bowl that all of a sudden had the spiders. When all of a sudden the dudes were at home, the amount of guys calling, ringing, buzzing off the hook to go get the service that they've been postponing on their wives tripled, quadrupled, quintupled. So I will call out my fellow brothers there that they weren't taking care of their wives and the problem until they were the ones at home.
So we
That's
do have
fair.
some super chats.
Hit it, super chats.
Polynike 2000, end this nonsense. We aren't all equal in all things. Can we return to my question for Tikla about rights enforcement? Unfortunately, it's disappeared from the chat, and I'm not quite sure what that question was.
He said,
So-
who will enforce the rights if the women
He's
are
saying-
given rights by the men? It would be the men.
Oh, I see. Yes.
So, or unless, I don't know, we make an all-female police force and see how that goes. You know what I'm saying?
We also have whatever 1210 sending a super chat saying, "Welp, this is a great at Sunday school lesson on a Thursday." A great Sunday school lesson, but they meant to say Sunday school lesson. So thank you for that and for the super chat. And it has bumped down. All right, we have Lady Disdain saying, "I think women subconsciously feel their roles are inferior because men don't want them. Therefore, men's roles must be better and want them. They forget God gave them the most sacred responsibility," which I'll add, I think we've mentioned already, is birthing and raising children. Then Pure Give sent $10, and that's it. So thank you as their first super chat.
Well, President Nelson says that he wished he could have been a mother, so he had to do the next best thing and be a heart
doctor.
surgeon. Yeah.
And just like
Adorable.
to clarify, people, women are way better at women things than men are. Like we don't
And
like
men
doing
are
women
way
things-
better at men things.
Yeah, we don't like doing women things because we suck at it. That's why. Like we're just not good at making sandwiches. We suck at making sandwiches. It's not
Okay,
because
It's
we don't-
sparkling water.
Okay.
It's sparkling water.
Okay.
I am so bad
Oh my
at making
goodness.
sure, I'm so bad at making sure, the diapers are packed and the child's not, getting into some sort of thing that's going to hurt them and all this kind of stuff. And Joy's great at that. And then I'm really great at playing them in a really silly and engaging way that Joy is not as good at as I am. And that is built into the system, and it's supposed to be that way, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
We have, and there's variability. It's not like you have to
Oh,
do
yeah.
this or you have to do that.
These are
but
generalities.
Yep.
But
So
we
Rach-
have to be informed by the general. We cannot get so hung up on the specific that we blow that into what everyone has to do at the expense of the majority. We can't do
normalize
that.
normal.
Okay, so we burn
So
into
Rachel
more
Hudson,
clips?
we got one more super chat or two.
Oh, okay. Hit
Rachel Hudson's so bummed I've missed most of the live. Well, you can go back and watch it again. I've been covering the Coachella Valley with missionaries. Any chance we get what they'll give us? LOL. I wish I had more free time so I could sit and complain about feminism.
Wow.
Funny. Well, before we go any farther, guys, thank you, Luke, for reading the super chats. First off, are we caught up?
Yes, we are caught up.
We are caught up. Thank you.
Yep.
Before we go any farther, please make sure that you do indeed like the stream, share it with your friends. And if you guys want a shirt, I think we've got 2 or 3 larges left. We're going to be receiving a new order. Luke, what did the pile look like today? You witnessed it.
Oh, well, the pile of shirts that we have available was very small, and then the pile of packages outgoing was very large.
Yes.
But hopefully we're going to get that pile up again for the shirts and just like grab them before they run out again.
And I'm not going to believe my audience ever again when I put out a little poll on what size are you? Because like everybody said they were a large and we ordered a bazillion larges, but all the 3XLs, 2XLs, and XLs gone within like 4 days. All
And
the smalls and the mediums just gone. Now I got like a stack of 10 larges of the like hundreds that we ordered. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why is nobody a large? So if you're a large out there, you can still get a shirt. Everybody else, you're gonna have to put in a pre-order and wait until next week. So anyway, just check
and now,
out.
if you like the stream and you stick around to the end, we actually have a new piece of merch that we're going to be discussing here that you all need to stay tuned for. So let's carry on. But at the end, if you stay to the end and like the stream, we have a new piece of merch we're revealing here tonight.
Okay, so last
Is
three
it a
clips.
sandwich?
Last
And a sandwich.
That's funny. So here we go. Saints Unscripted.
That we are trying.
Wait, hold on.
Passionate we are about this, and the fact that we are trying to make change happen. We're not just passive standbyers letting things happen. I mean, the whole reason we're having this conversation is because we see where improvement can happen and we are striving for it to improve. I mean, we rely on Jesus Christ, the biggest change maker and advocate for change of all time.
I would hope that people see me and don't judge me for being a member of the church and putting that blanket statement on that, like the fact that I accept all of these things, you know?
Passionate we are about this, and the fact that
Wait, you accept all of these things?
We wouldn't want people to associate us with that dirty, stinking, filthy church. I mean, when they hear that I'm a disciple of Jesus Christ, like, okay, but that doesn't mean that I like subscribe to all that, or like the church that he founded. Like, you know, don't associate me with all of that. I want to make sure I can keep one foot in Babylon, just one little foot out there in Babylon. What a thing to say. I don't want people to assume that I really believe in this church, like that I'm really all in with this church. What a thing to say. I hope all the people I work with and know, all my friends everywhere know that I adore the church. I love the church. I would die for the institution of the church. I hope everybody knows that. And here she's saying, well, I don't want to be too closely associated with the kingdom of God that Jesus himself set up in the latter days. I mean,
Okay, let me replay that one. Let me replay that one. Let me see if I don't know if that's what I got out of this. Let me see. Let me see. Hold on.
Passionate we are about this, and the fact that we are trying to make change happen. We're not just passive standbyers letting things happen. I mean, the whole reason we're having this conversation is because we see where improvement can happen, and we are striving for it to improve.
Wow.
I mean, we rely on Jesus Christ, the biggest change maker and advocate for change of all time.
I would hope that people see me and don't judge me for being a member of the church and
Oh, dude, that is savage.
So this is neo-Marxist type of stuff. Ibram X. Kendi kind of recast Jesus Christ as the Christ of liberation rather than the Christ of salvation. He actually said like the salvific Christ is actually a little bit racist because then it means all the white people need to go to Africa to tell the black people about the white Jesus that's going to save them. But instead we need to agitate for social change. And yeah, the comment about, because this is the problem with people is people are very individualistic in America, and there's a lot of great things about that. But part of the problem is whenever you attach yourself to an institution, people in their brains attach everything wrong about that institution to you, and somehow you're like accountable for it now, as if human beings were, and ever will be perfect. No. And so an institution can have multitude of problems, but overall be a wildly beneficial and wonderful and great institution. And we don't need to constantly be apologizing and feel bad for the bad things that happen because it's human, because everything is human.
That, really good point. I got my thoughts, but I heard Brooke say, I'm shook. Why you shook, Brooke?
Oh, because these are made up problems. I just got done talking. It really is. I'm just going over the Montgomery bus boycott in history class, and that's a real problem. Having to get Rosa Parks getting arrested for not sitting in the back of the bus, that's a real problem. This is not a real problem. Sitting on the stand is not a real problem. Holding your baby for a blessing, not a real problem. We're making stuff up now. And I feel like, hey, if you want a hug, I'm here.
Oh, okay,
Amen.
cool. That was I thought we were rounding the quarter towards like, oh no, if you want a hug, I'm here. See,
you
yeah,
want a
there we
hug,
go. You know,
I'm here.
It's the I'm not
Yes.
mad, I'm disappointed kind of a thing.
Yeah.
We do have
To Brooke's point, Brooke made a very good point at the outset of this in the comment section of the Saints Unscripted video, where she said, "Let's widen the conversation outside of Orem or wherever you are, wherever they were in Saints Unscripted. Remember, we have relief societies with budgets and leadership and hierarchies and activities committees and meetings and all those things in Nigeria. We have these things in Bangladesh. We have these things in places where women are very generally not valued to the level that they are in the United States. And we go into those places. We send women into those places 2 by 2, knocking on doors of men and saying, you need to repent and treat your women better and be baptized in the name of Jesus Christ. And who is first shall be last and last shall be first. We have women going into these places and doing this. There's real problems in the world. And the church is trying to go out there and help the world repent and be more Zionistic. And here she's making up problems, making up dragons to slay. There's real dragons in the world. And we're out there trying to slay them. And we'd appreciate maybe not so much friendly fire from behind us as we're trekking out into the mountains trying to slay these dragons. You know?
Well, and the church is teaching men to do what? To honor and help their women, the women. That's what I mean. Okay, so we have a friend who, she and her life partner were on a RV trip, and the two women, they go out and they do these RV trips, and their RV broke down, and she was telling us about it, and they were super offended because a man stopped to ask if they needed any help. Oh. And they were really, really up in arms about it because they knew that what he was saying was, he didn't think we could do it. He didn't think we could do it by ourselves because they're two women. So dude, how dare he stop
I stopped opening doors for women. I stopped opening doors because I had 2 weeks in a row when I opened up doors for women scream at me for saying, you shut that door. You don't think I can open the door myself? I was like, I'm done. Sorry, ladies.
Well, yeah, men will listen. Men are good listeners. Yeah. If you tell them we don't need you, they will listen. And so I would ask women who have this response to this kind of help from men, I would ask you this. Do you want to live in a world where men see women in trouble and they assume that they need help? Or do you want to live in a world where men see women in trouble and they assume they don't need help?
Or how about they just assume it's not worth touching it because it's a lawsuit waiting to happen? That's the third option, all right? You know?
Regardless of if they need help or not.
Hey, I made Luke laugh. I feel so good. He's hard to crack. He's a very serious guy, very well measured. No matter what you say, he's like, well, I don't know if I go that far, Cardin. And then he gives a much more erudite answer. But I just made Luke chuckle.
Got him.
Got him. I got Luke. That's so good. I'm excited. I'm happy.
Well, something else that made me smile was some of our super chats.
Okay.
One of which was from Carolyn.
Carolyn Wright Gaines Music.
There you go.
Okay,
Carolyn Wright Gaines Music for $100. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Carolyn Wright Gaines Music. We really appreciate it. We're trying to do a lot here in the studio, and these really help. So thank you. She says, love my new shirt. Love the show as well. Thank you, WardRadio fam.
Oh, hey, well, you got to tag us in the socials, man. Please email us a picture at WardRadio on the website, or if you can upload it to the Discord, that'd be super helpful. Speaking of which, we've actually had a couple of people upload pictures to the Discord that have received their shirts, and we're going to have to put those up in a second. You were going to finish a thought.
Yeah,
before.
we do. Well, we do have Diamond Dave as well. And I think there may have been one more after that too. So Diamond Dave said, women pursue jobs they want because they like them. Men pursue jobs they don't like because they need to be done. Shout out to explosive ordnance disposal and waste management. And I would add, and a number of other professions as well.
I was going to say pest control.
Truck driving's not fun.
You ever
either.
crawled underneath a house to pull out the dead possum or dead raccoon that was making the living room stink to high heaven?
Ew.
Yeah, and then when you grab the leg, it falls off because there's maggots that have already separated the ligaments from the rest of the body.
TMI.
And then you stick it inside. By the way, do you know what spearmint smells like? Because there's a body that died inside of a room, and you have to take a razor blade and cut out the carpet and then roll the body inside to take it to the coroners. And then when you stick your hands on it and you pull out the skull, it separates from the cranium, the bottom third vertebrae, because some dude died. You ever done that crime scene cleanup? You ever done suicide cleanup? You ever done any of this crazy crap that some of my buddies have done? I mean, ask any cop or first responder out there, hey, do you know what spearmint is? Do you guys know what spearmint is? Ask any cop. It's this paste that you put underneath your nose.
Yeah.
Underneath your respirator that is so strongly scented like spearmint, it supposedly is meant to overwhelm the horrendous odor that you're in right now. Now ask him if it works all the time. then go ask him if it works all the time. And not a single one will tell you yes. You know, so yeah, we'll talk spearmint. Anyway, I interrupted you. Keep going, Luke.
We do have one more. I believe maybe another one came in afterwards, but here we go. Shai Hodson again wanted to say my definition of misogyny is not theirs. It's the actual misogyny, women hate, and all of you have stated how to fight it beautifully. So thank you for that super chat, and I think we do have one more.
Tikla, can you answer the trending man versus bear in a forest question? I sincerely hope the ladies of Saints
I can't.
Unscripted.
Sorry, my battery died. I got a new one, but I'm back.
Okay, no, we saw that. So the question here from Pauline Nikes, could you reread that, Luke? I don't know what this is.
I don't. Can you answer the trending? Oh, the trending. Okay, so this is referring to something I'm not aware of. Man versus bear in a forest question.
Oh, I know this.
Okay, I sincerely hope that the ladies of SU, Saints Unscripted, get what they truly want. LDS, MGTOW. So, you know what it is, Tikla?
Yeah, so there's a TikTok viral clip of women being asked, if you were alone in the woods, would you rather be alone with a man or alone with a bear? I think is kind of how it went. And like 90% of the women said bear.
What the?
And so there's all these men getting all up in arms about it, like, see, this is terrible. And then there's all these women saying, men don't understand how hard it is to be a woman. And it's really interesting. Actually, I think it's actually kind of a fascinating illustration of the different ways that men and women think. And maybe
so they assume we're just more predacious and horrible than a bear that will kill you.
Well, that's what men assume they mean. But here's what I think they mean. A bear, you see a bear and you know that it's going to get you. So you know how to act. A man is going to look like something that can help you, but could be someone who would betray you. And so if you've had really bad experiences with men, you'll see a man alone without the societal pressure to be civilized, as a potential help that could turn on you. And so it's not, and I also think it illustrates the fear that women have of being, can I say the R word on a live stream?
Yeah.
That fear might be greater than the fear of death, which from my perspective just illustrates how important it is to protect women and how devastating it is to the world when men are told not to.
Wow.
Yeah, here's my response to that. If you had, okay, so you're stranded in the forest and you either have a bear or a man. What do you choose? Oh, I choose the bear. Okay. You're stranded in the forest and you can choose 10 bears or 10 men.
Ooh,
which do you choose?
I like that.
Oh, now all of a sudden your
10
answer
men.
changes. Now all of a sudden your answer changes. Now all of a sudden you say, oh, I want these men around. Why is that? Because the only thing that protects you from some crazy, psychotic, horrible, evil man is a good man. But bears have no chivalry left. They will all devour you and never say sorry. But men keep other men in check.
Yeah, do you ever think
10
that
men, make it trend.
all of this progmo nonsense is such hashtag first world problems, and the reason why Brooke said, can we talk about women outside of Utah? Because if you say something as stupid as I'd rather be inside the forest with a bear than a man, it means you've never actually seen a bear, and this is why all the internet kids are saying touch grass.
Yes.
Like seriously, any idiot, any woman that says, oh, I'd rather be with a bear. Look at this. This is what bears do, people. Okay. This was just on TMZ in Japan like yesterday. Okay. You're driving in your little Daihatsu truck. You're just chilling. Oh, wait, you're in the territory of a bear and he doesn't like it. He wants to rip your face off. So he breaks your windshield and he breaks you and you got to run away like a hot mess. That person is lucky they were in the car. That bear runs 3 times faster than them, weighs 4 times as much, and would crush every bone in their body just to play with them like it's pudding before mauling out their throat just to make sure competition doesn't get to him first. Like, touch grass. See what a bear actually looks like. And you won't say something as stupid as, oh yeah, my cousin Mike. Yeah, I don't want to be oh no, my bishop. Oh, I don't want to be caught in a forest with my home teacher. I'd rather have a Kodiak bear from Alaska 6 feet within, my circumference. This is crazy. Anyway, bro.
Okay,
Well, the women.
How about this? You're stranded in the forest. You're either stranded in the forest with a man, or you're stranded in the forest with a Melchizedek priesthood holder who serves in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Which do you choose, Saints Unscripted? Because obviously the society has these wonderful traditional roles, but the church, is filled with this misogyny. So who do you choose then? No. The church is trying to teach men to be less like bears. That's what the church is all about. Is trying to teach you to not be such a bear. Right? That's the talks. I mean, I would really respond to that talk, actually. If a prophet got up and he was like, be less like a bear, a lot of men would be like, oh, that's what you're saying. Okay, yeah,
so
all right.
I got a shave.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. All right, I can try that. That'd be a much better way to get through to the men, I think.
So, unfortunately, we've already reached the 90-minute threshold here, and we're going to have to go pretty soon. Luke, are there any more clips? Is there anything I missed? You uploaded a ton to the Discord.
That was actually Jonah, mostly.
Oh, that was
with
Jonah.
With an assist from Ed, yes.
With an assist from Ed.
There was a couple of comments. I don't know if we want to go, meaning comments
on
this video.
Oh, you
might be interesting.
You should hit a couple of these.
And maybe
They
just
are savage.
speed around a couple of these comments and then we can get out of here.
Good idea. Okay, so here's the original video if you guys didn't have a chance to see it. That came in within weeks of us starting the Women of WardRadio. Had nothing to do with that. There was no copycatting going on here whatsoever. And if anybody would suggest the same, I have no idea where they would have gotten that
perish
idea.
The thought.
Oh, leave them
perish
alone.
the thought. You know what I'm saying? No, we will leave them alone. I told him. I said I would never think that there was any kind of Me Too going on there either.
Yes.
But it's an honest female conversation. And dude, let me tell you, the comments, Jonah, these were hilarious.
They're so good.
They were so funny. So first off,
so
was the comment that brought Brooke to the table. Is there any room for conversation surrounding women of color in the church? And if there's anything we've missed, have we missed anything? Brooke, have we missed anything here?
Not that I can think
well,
of. Well,
it's a jungle. Just speak up and interrupt
100%.
us. If something comes to your mind, you're so polite. You know what I'm saying?
Not really.
Okay, well, you have been today. Today.
You're lucky.
Okay. I love it. So anyway, here's first comment right here. I love the framing of everything in terms of power hierarchy and power imbalances. Marxist language at its finest. Oh, it is so true. I remember it like 9 minutes and 16 seconds in, which was, for some reason, somebody had sent me a clip of this. She literally invoked the Marxist language of power imbalances as the definition of like fairness and equality, so on and so forth. It was crazy. I'll find that clip while we're looking for the rest of these things. Johanna says, really seems like trying to mix worldly views into Christ's church. Would love to see more defense of the church and emphasis of family. Probably not a good idea to do. Part 2. Women of WardRadio actually defend the church, not tear it down because of misogyny. Oh, somebody made a comment about our show.
There was actually another comment. This one just like blew my mind because I'm nobody, right? I'm nobody. And someone was saying, well, Saints Unscripted responded and just said, who would you recommend for part 2? And someone I don't know put my name in the comment section. And I thought, something's coming through. I don't know.
Okay, that's awesome. I'm going, if I remember, I think it was like at 9.5 minutes.
9 minutes and 4. Let's start just at 8:55.
Oh, at 8:55?
Yeah,
okay, cool. Wow, dude. Good job, Luke. You're
Control
like,
F.
Dude,
Get that Control F going on with the transcript. Yep.
What a stud. Okay, so this one was wild. I remember this was like, I just skipped to the middle just to see what was going on. I remember just thumbing right through it, and this is what I ended up on.
Maybe like 8:48.
Okay, I'm going to 8:48. I remember I sent this to my boy, Greg Matz, and I was like, dog.
Oh, Greg would be all over that.
I was like, this was the best argument for cultural Marxism I've heard in a long time, and it was on Saints Unscripted. It was awesome. I feel like I was back in Sex and Gender at BYU when they were starting to go woke before Reese kind of tried to stop it. You know what I'm saying? So here we go. This is awesome.
Well, if the mom didn't want to, or if the father wanted to more. And so there's these little things. You see how all these things are very subtle? Like there's something you might not notice just going to church every Sunday. It actually took me a while to notice. And but they're important because when we let these subtle things just keep going on and on and on, it creates more power imbalances between men and women in the church. I mean, women are great organizers. That was acknowledged by President Packer, I think it was.
I think
it was
we're
a quote
good.
you shared.
I think we're good.
Well,
Oh, no, it gets
But
better.
We have abilities to organize and lead, and we have a lot of qualities that strengthen us to do that are divine qualities from Heavenly Father. And I think those should be put to use more in the church than they are right now. And that would help me feel more empowered.
Oh, so empowerment is settling the score between the power imbalances.
But this is what I was talking about earlier. She's like, there are all these little things. It's like they can't sit on the stand. They can't hold their baby. They don't get to be the ward clerk. I don't know who wants to be the ward clerk, but they don't get to do that either. And then, but I didn't notice them. But then I started to notice them, and they kind of trickle and accumulate. And then I realized, we need to fight against this so that the power scale can be tipped more towards justice as the arc of history continues into the future. And it looked like Tikla was kind of frigging out a little bit when she did that clip. So I'm interested to see what she has to say about this too.
Oh, she's swimming in water and she doesn't see. Like she's got a worldview that she doesn't realize that she has. And so it's tainting the way she's seeing everything. But if you can break out of that way of thinking and recognize that the family is represented in the ward, and I'll say it like this. They're pushing for a change, and the direction that they're pushing is the only change I want to push for is to center the church more decidedly on Christ. And I hope that we never get to the day where there are so few or no men who will preside, provide, and protect that women have to withdraw from their role of nurturing their families, communities, and societies to fill that void. I hope that never happens.
I think she has too much time on her hands.
Oh, savage.
I really do. I think she has way too much time on her hands to just all of a sudden wake up and go, I noticed. Honey, go knock on doors and tell people about Christ. Go knock on doors and let people know about the plan of salvation and how they can be saved and how their efforts in life. Go do something that teaches somebody about Christ and about Heavenly Father and about why we're here, instead of sitting there making comments and coming up with things to think about that are just made up problems. Go save the world.
Touch grass.
And this goes along with a super chat that came in while we were talking, actually,
Awesome.
from Diamond Dave again. And almost as if he was picking up where you left off, Brooke, he says, agreed, it's first world problems. I'd argue SU, which is Saints Unscripted ladies, haven't seen real misogyny. Let's all take a trip to northern India and see what happens. And unfortunately, North India is not the only place that you might see that happening, I'll add.
Well, sorry, Luke.
There's one more. Do you want to say what you're going to say before I do the next super chat? Or
it
actually goes along with this pretty well.
Okay, hit it. Just say it.
Violet Pup, we lived in the Middle East and watched the church purchase a passport of a female member from her previous employer. The church paid her to be in our home. So look at that. Church doing good anti-misogyny work in the Middle East.
The amount of... I have family members that were mission presidents in... I won't name the mission, but it covers the Singapore mission covers all of Middle East. At least at that point, covered all the way into Pakistan. And they would have to help smuggle women out of countries that had converted to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints because they could be honor killed by their families and had threats against their life that were legal in their municipalities for simply having been baptized in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And speaking of passports, had to try and get them religious exemptions in order to be able to make it to Britain as a safe harbor because they were now baptized members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And that was all done by these hashtag patriarchs. All right. And I'm sorry, not being able to, they would love a church where the only thing they had to worry about was not holding their baby. You know what I'm saying, man?
Yes. And that's not something to worry about. That's actually a positive thing. The fact that you're not holding your baby is a positive thing. It's not a problem. It's not the problem.
And this whole idea of centering everything around a power imbalance. Luke, a lot of times when people want to lampoon the right or conservative people's use of the term woke, they say, oh, well, define woke. Just like there's the gotcha question amongst conservatives of what is a woman, right? Oftentimes they say, okay, well, define woke. You once, 6 months ago, had one of the better, more concise definitions. What was it? You said it was
I think what I said at that time was woke was the worldview that sees everything in terms of power. And then once it makes these calculations based on whatever metric it is it's choosing, that's rather arbitrary oftentimes, then it assigns virtue to the person who is deemed to have less power and and then badness or evil, and they give all the isms and ogenies and phobias to that person, and they are the bad guys. And then the fight that you need to be engaged in the world, your purpose, your telos in the world, is to bring that into equality and maybe even tip it the other way a little bit.
Yeah. So with that definition, I just want to go over this again, though. With that definition, that sounds almost exactly like
abilities to organize and lead. And we have a lot of qualities that strengthen us to do that are divine qualities from Heavenly Father. And I think those should be put to use more in the church than they are right now. Mm-hmm. And that would help me feel more empowered. Keep going on and on and on. It creates more power imbalances between men and women in the church.
You literally said in that podcast, I remember you said something, it was very poetic. You said it's the concession of the Marxist conceit that life can be boiled down to power imbalances.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what you saw. And then to see literally her definition of what would make her feel more empowered and welcome in the church is a necessity to settle those power imbalances.
Right, and she's not saying just those things would do it. Those are baby steps on the path to get true equality, which is going to be female bishops, female prophet, female, right? What's that?
No, he just sang never enough. Never. We need to get that out there. And I would just say my frustration with this is there's nothing more than the average man of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints wants women to feel in his congregation as bishop, as elders quorum president, presiding over the woman's husbands or brothers or whatever. There's nothing more that I would want the women in my congregation or my city to feel than welcome in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. But quit holding my humanity hostage and my desire to make you feel welcome hostage unless I change the definition of what welcome is. And if forcing leadership upon single mothers that don't ask for it is the only way that you will then say, I am welcome, I'm sorry. You've so bastardized the definition of welcome that now it just doesn't mean what you say it means. So we either have to stop using the word or we need to actually challenge your use of the term welcome. Love has been so changed. Acceptance has been so changed. Tolerance has been completely upended. We need to fight to get these words back, starting with welcome. That's the first one, starting with welcome.
Now, of the many comments that were on the Saints Unscripted video, there was actually one very important comment that was put in there by let's see, what was the handle? It's
LDS Cami, she was next in the list.
Wait, no. It's this. Oh, yeah, Jesus Christ. So Jesus Christ responded to this in Mark chapter 9, where the apostles were disputing among themselves on who should be the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Who should have the power? We have power and balance. Peter says he was the first, but Andrew says he was the first. And, James, he's like a half brother. So who is going to be the best? Who's going to be the biggest in the kingdom of heaven? They were having a honest apostle conversation on Saints Unscripted. And Jesus Christ's comment in the YouTube comment section was, if any man desire to be first, the same shall be last, the servant of all. Okay. He rebuked them and he said, that's not how things work in the kingdom of heaven. Okay. The least among you shall be the greatest, and the greatest shall be a servant. So weird. The 2,000 years before the Saints Unscripted episode aired, Jesus Christ had already kind of foreseen it and left this comment section in Mark chapter 9.
Okay, so we're just going to burn through the last couple here in the last 2 minutes. LDS Cami says, I keep hearing empowered. I hope we would remember that when we are called to serve, not called to be lifted up, we are lifted up when we're working together. There's no reason for anyone who isn't serving on the stand for sacrament service to sit there. We also got Christina Richmond, 8185, says, my observation is women tend to be dissatisfied with just about everything. Ooh, savage,
so
Kristen, savage.
Super saucy.
You know what I'm saying? That one was pretty rough, man.
Yep.
And then we got Brittany McGuff says, just a friendly reminder that we aren't on earth to be empowered. We are here to be tested. Both men and women throughout history have been asked by God to endure hard things. We are meant to forget ourselves and serve God by serving our fellow brothers and sisters, raising children, battering ourselves through the scripture study and prayer, etc. Obviously, men and women should be treated well, but this doesn't mean women need more, quote, power. We have all the most important power in this world. We are literal portals from the spirit world to earth. Be proud of that, which I thought was totally awesome. Next one right here is Danny Gray says, every single bishop who finishes his calling always says in his final talk that he's excited to be able to sit with his family, and y'all want to take that away from the mothers? That's interesting. And Nate Woodbury says, I'm a man. I want to share my perspective. I love supporting women and love when women are the main speaker in sacrament meeting. And I love hearing from women in general conference. I'm a holder of the priesthood and my wife is not, but we both have equal access to the blessings of the priesthood. My wife can do all things that I can do except for a short list of administrative procedures. My wife can exercise faith in the atonement or faith in the power of the priesthood just as much as I can. It's like the priesthood is a lantern. A man is tasked with the job of holding the lantern up for the light to shine, but holding the lantern isn't the blessing. The light is the blessing. Everyone in the room benefits from the lantern's light equally. Ooh, that was interesting. And then we'll do the last three here. We'll just choose three. Brian Fernandez says, the thought that kept running through my mind as I listened to these women are the most blessed and privileged people. You know, you have absolutely no real problems when your biggest complaint about an organization is that not enough women sit on the stand. Thanks for sharing. I hope your lives continue to be as easy as they sound.
Yes, and mic drop on that one.
Oh, that one is brutal.
Thank you.
And then I Golden Knight says, how can you not feel empowered with the gift of the Holy Ghost, with the gift of repentance, with the endowment, ? As a child, I felt empowered with my CTR ring. I felt empowered that I was baptized, that I was a son of God. And Snagrit's here. Snagrit says, why did Christ choose his 12 apostles as men? Was he misogynist?
Whoopsies.
Ooh, geez.
And every deacon and every elder and every bishop.
And well, anyway, and here's the definition that we missed. Misogyny, hatred or mistrust of women. Contrast, misandry. We need to start calling misandry out where we see it. Okay. And then hatred, contempt for, or prejudice against women. Is it hatred? Not to give back the baby you stole to bless it, right?
Oh.
So anyway,
Now,
any last
and since you've made it to the very end here, for everybody who liked the stream, make sure you like the stream. Since you made it to the very end, we are here to reveal tonight, down at the bottom of the Discord, we have a new a new bit of merch that's going to go out, and it is the latest thing that was just put into the Discord just now.
Okay.
This is now be produced by WardRadio.
Got
You'll
it.
be able to
Yeah,
order
it's
it
on the screen.
at the website. This is a neck pillow for church use for High Council Sunday only. It makes
So a
it much
misogynistic
easier-
neck pillow.
Makes it
It's great.
much easier to get through High Council Sunday. Makes everybody more comfortable. It avoids the sore neck that you get on Sunday afternoons after the High Councilman comes to speak. So this is going to help ergonomically our worship services on Sunday, and it's exclusively at WardRadio for High Council Sunday neck pillows. You're welcome.
Yes.
So we do have a super chat as we finish out here from
last super
Polly
chat.
Nikes 2000. He points out what the two worst generations are, and he was wondering if Carden might be able to offer up what one of those are.
I've promised Ed.
And then we also have Carol Thames, who is a new member.
Oh, Carol, what's up?
But thank you, Polly Nikes. And I
Everybody-
read the chat.
Well, you
It
gotta,
disappeared, so I couldn't read it verbatim, but I did read it.
we gotta welcome her
Yeah,
into the
so
chat.
Carol Thames, welcome to the Ward Radio Wigwam, and everybody who would like to join me in welcoming Sister Thames, please signify with the W in the chat.
All right, sick. So anyway, guys, this has been totally awesome. It's been great. Before we go, shout out to our friend Brooke here. How was your first time in the Ward Radio Wigwam, the warship? What'd you think?
I feel brand new. It was amazing.
All right, awesome.
Born again.
Yeah, you're born again.
Oh,
The-
baptized.
The prescriptions I gave you earlier to become a good neoliberal, will you be taking them home or will you be giving
Run,
them
Brooke,
away?
run.
I'm going to take one at a time and rest and take another one. I can't wait.
Okay, awesome. And Tikla, Jonah, thanks for hanging out with us. Where can we see you guys on what? The women
Ward
of-
Radio Women.
Yeah, the
Thank you.
women of Ward
Thank you.
Radio. Rock on. It's going to be
Oh,
awesome.
nice.
And show us what you're sporting there. Show us what you're sporting there, Jonah.
The fit today is Dan McClellan's favorite YouTube channel. It's Ward Radio. Ward Radio T-shirt. The fit today, and I just want to remind everybody that I'm not so stupid as to believe in this church. Like I'm way more enlightened. And so, anyways, but here's the fit. You know,
He's not overtly stated that yet. We have to talk to him first.
Just heavily implied.
dude.
And
These shirts are awesome, by the way. They got
Yeah.
on the sleeve the Ward Radio right here. They got the logo right on the front. They got a QR code. I don't think I've ever seen a shirt with a QR code. Super
Yeah.
cool shirt. All my boys have them now, and
Yeah.
I can't show you the back, but they're super cool. You
Rock
can find them on the
on.
website. And Luke and Carden have none left, so spam them with back orders. They would love that. Just spam.
Yes, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome.
If any antis want to stress Carden out, just like put the back orders in
Yeah.
for the T-shirts. That would be the best way to do it.
Best
Yeah,
way
dude.
to do it.
That's funny. All right. So, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. As always, it has been real and it has been fun and it has been real fun. As always, for this and more, please check us out at wardradio.com.
I built a rocket in my basement. I'm gonna fly it to the moon. This supersonic is amazing. You're gonna feel my sonic boom. I'm flying higher and I'm never coming down. Look at me now.